Stuff's getting dirty and dusty. We got straw in the bed of the truck because we're gonna put straw down before we stack any hay. Gotta get straps off. I'm gonna send my wife to town. We need to get def, grease, and while she's there with the trailer, we got hog panels. All right, I'm getting rounds unloaded. She's gonna get started on the big squares. Still have all this left to bale here. I don't know, maybe we're halfway down to 800 some bales, so that's like 1,600 to bale. Got a couple empties here ready to bale. We're gonna go rake the alfalfa now. So I got a little start to raking here. Gonna get out and check, because these are all singles. This one's doubled, how it kind of does it. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of thin, so I'll double it. And now I look at this, I'm like, this is kind of thick. I don't have any concerns about baling this. It'll be nice to actually be able to go a little slower with the baler. My concern is if there is moisture, which there's some, are we going to be trapping that moisture in the windrow? Would I be better off baling smaller rows? But the quality on this stuff is just, I mean, this is great stuff. I think I'm going to go back to raking singles just to be sure it's good. It's like you get some of these singles, like this isn't even, there's nothing here. I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. I think we'll probably end up raking singles, but it does suck when you have piddly little stuff like this. But it is nice stuff. Through this field pretty good. There's still a lot left to rake, but man, it's looking really nice. Really excited for that. I think my dad just got here. I had him take some twine up on his way over. He took a half day from work. It's going on 11 o'clock now. I think the builders are coming out. He's got to bale hay this afternoon too, so they're going to pull the tractor off that harrogator, the harrow, whatever you want to call it, or spike tooth harrow, whatever that is. I think I might bring a different tractor and swap it out. So I might have my dad bring some more dirt in there, and once I'm done raking, I'll bring more dirt in there so we have enough of it to get a final grade, give or take. That is if I get done raking before they get here, and I can have this tractor to put the bucket on and do that. But we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. All right, the field's all raked. We just have to do the little drive that crosses the bridge, or the ditch, I guess. And then I think we're gonna load some hay. All right, I got this wagon for like $125 at an auction. You can see the rim through the tire, so that's not great, but we're using it anyways. We're only hauling straw. Yeah, so we're gonna get this area all covered kind of like this. That's one truck bed. This is a lot more, and then we'll start stacking hay on it and get the white. We got the white hooked up to the 570 small square baler. I don't know if he's heading this way now. Hard to tell. Oh, my dad's heading here with the white and the small square baler. The other one, we got the 5070 on the Puma 140. My wife's bringing the hay elevator out. We got 2 loads of grass unloaded. This alfalfa, I just checked it. I think it's good to go. So we're gonna try and start this. I mean, how do you get much better than that, especially on first cutting? I mean, holy cow. I don't know what's going on. We're doing something right. All right, guys, I'm warm. Got about 2 loads unloaded. I'm out of shape, or I'm tired. It's been a long week. I like to just say it's lack of sleep and continuous amount of days of just pushing hard. We'll just chop it up to that because I'm not going to admit I'm out of shape. I'm going to start baling some alfalfa. I got 4 empty wagons. I got a high schooler coming here after he gets out, probably in a half hour, and then actually it's his older brother, I think. He's home from school. He'll be here like 5:30. So another hour and a half, we'll have 2 kids. Love to have a few more, but we'll see if we can get unloaded here today. I really want to get most of this alfalfa, or all of it, all baled. I'd love to get it all baled and start back in on the grass because I got to go mow more hay down tomorrow. So we're gonna see what we can get knocked out here, and hope we have a good evening and get a lot of hay baled, and hopefully not kill ourselves in the process, because it's starting to warm up. Hasn't been the best drying day, but the sun's out now. So all right, guys, since I'm lazy, I didn't want to get out until I had half the end rows baled off. Let's see what we got. 7, 6. I knew it was dry. The first couple bales coming out, it's almost too dry. Dang it. I mean, it looks pretty decent. 10. I might bale some of this with the dew on it, actually. Oops. Actually, that's the grass from yesterday. That's the last stuff I baled. That was 16. It was definitely getting tough at the end of the night. It's not as bad as I thought. Here's a good bale of alfalfa. Jeez, this stuff is dry. 9. Look at this. Let's look at this here. I don't like how dry it is, but it seems to be holding leaf pretty decent. I'll have to get in there and see how the bale weight's. All right, guys, we're rolling along in 9th gear, about 4.8 mile an hour. Just cranking bales out. It is dry. I don't know, it got away from us. I don't know if we quit in a few hours and come back as a dew setting in, switch to grass and back and back and back, you know, back and forth, and I don't know. I mean, the nice thing about having a second baler is if we want to try to do that, you have a small window to do it, and you want to get a lot baled. If we can have empty wagons, we can really crank out some bales pretty quick, take advantage of that dew, and put up some really nice hay. I don't know what we'll do. I want to fill 3 wagons here now, and at least get some of the shorter rows, point rows knocked out, and then we'll be in the big field and kind of make a decision then, see what time it is, how much help, and how quick they're getting wagons unloaded before we get too carried away. Because last thing I want to do is switch to grass, fill all our wagons, not be able to unload them, dew setting in, and then we have this hay that's even drier and more bleached tomorrow. So we'll see. I can't believe how quickly this dried. Today is Monday. I raked it this morning. I did nothing yesterday, which is Sunday, and I mowed it on Saturday and tedded it out. I'm talking Saturday midday, noon, 1 o'clock, not anything crazy early. Tedded it Saturday night, the same day I mowed it, probably like 10 o'clock or so, in the dark. And now I'm baling. It's only been on the ground 2 days. This is just insane how quickly this stuff dried, and it's honestly almost too dry to be baling. I mean, it isn't, but it is. You know, you can see at the pickup we're losing some leaves. But I think it's grabbing most of them and shoving the leaves in the bale. It's just they're not going to hold on to the stems. But if you're feeding like a whole bale or careful with the slabs, I'm sure it'll stay on. I don't know. It's just absolutely beautiful hay. Outstanding. Just had my first broken bale, and there's 171 bales on the first load, nothing broken. I bet you we got close to 80 on here, close to 869 yesterday. So we're well over 950 bales and just had our first and only broken bale so far, which is, I'm really loving this baler, just knocking them out. Hopefully the 570 does as well if we can have the time to run it in the field. I don't know if we can get a couple more wagons around, borrowed from somebody else. I know a guy's got 5. There's a chance we might go and grab those tonight just so we can finish baling everything, get it on wagons, and I can go start on the next thing, and we just spend our evenings unloading and chipping away at that. But we'll see how things go. Got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're definitely chipping away at it and moving forward, knocking stuff out, so that's really exciting. Well, we're getting about full on our second load. There's not as much out here as I was probably hoping. But I see bales going off the elevator at the barn now, so that's a good sign. That must mean there's some help here now. I don't know what's going on. Usually I'm really involved with all of it. I'm hands-on. I do most of the, well, I don't do the unloading, I do the stacking. I'd rather unload wagons than stack. But, you know, sometimes being the boss, you don't get to decide what you do. You got to find the right people, you know. You work with what people are capable of, and if you have a certain way you want things stacked, or people who aren't comfortable stacking would rather unload, you take the help you can get. I'm not complaining. We got really great people who help us, but yeah, usually I end up getting stuck in the mow or, you know, on the stack, which isn't all bad. I'd rather unload, but it is what it is. But today, you know, it kind of worked out. I get to sit in air conditioning for now until wagons are full. Then I'll probably get out and help for a little while. I was really hoping we'd have at least 2,000 bale out here on this field, but I'm guessing we'll be over 300 on these 2 wagons. Maybe it'll surprise me. We'll see once we get into these longer rows, and I don't know. I'd be surprised if we have over 1,500 the way things are going, but I could be way off on that. Well, wagon number 2 is filled, and I feel like I'm seeing way too much of the field showing. It's definitely kind of thin out here, but oh yeah, 313. I was hoping to be a little higher. I could have snuck a few more on, but we're gonna be unloading some, so rather than push it and lose a bale and have to stop and have a half windrow or be on that end of the field and have to drop wagons, since the empty's here, I'm just gonna drop it and we're gonna keep rolling. Now, why don't we take a look at that hay before we walk back in the tractor? It's green. Look at that leaf. It definitely could have better leaf retention, but it's in the bale. It's there. Oh my gosh. That is some beautiful hay. Number 3 done. How many does that get us up to? 445. All right, that ain't bad. Alrighty. They're bringing me another empty right now. There she comes. You can see the white truck way off in the distance. Man, look at all that dust. Holy cow, I don't know if I've ever seen it this much. Even the stuff is still looking really good. I think this is number 5. We just sold 15 bales of this stuff already. And I'm not even probing to try to get customers right now. It's just someone called me out of the blue. So 15 bales are sold. That's a good thing. And we're already up over 600 bales. So we're knocking out bales pretty quick, but unfortunately we're knocking out acres even quicker. I'm hoping for 2,000 bales on it to get me about 90 bale an acre. I don't think it's going to do that, but let's hope I'm wrong. I gotta fix a chain on this wagon. I think the seal's off. Otherwise, yeah, we're gonna have this alfalfa chipped away and done tonight. I don't see that being an issue, especially if they can keep up unloading. Now this grass on the other hand, there's a good amount there. We'll see. Load number 5 actually. We're up over 700 now. Almost 750, 749. Look at all that beautiful chaff. This is some nice hay. I try not to speculate too much because it'll get me worried. But right now it's looking like 60 bale an acre, which is not ideal first cutting. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm really hoping we have at least 80 bale, but yeah, it might be there. I think it'll fit on 3 more loads, so there's a chance there's only 1,000 bales out here. All right, I think I lost count now. I believe this is load number 7, and the count was 871. So we're really going to be short on tonnage in this field, unfortunately, but it is what it is. They're almost going wagon for wagon with me unloading, so that's good. My wife's going to go grab a set of wagons from someone, so hopefully we can get the other baler turned online. I don't know if she'll grab 2 sets or if it's even worth it, because by the time she gets the second one back, it's going to be pretty late and it's like won't be able to even fill them, but hopefully she can get them back here pretty quick. It's about a 5-mile drive from where they are, I think, give or take. We get both balers going, we can knock out about 4 loads an hour, almost 600 to 700 bale an hour. I think if we got both balers really cranking them out, so we could fill wagons in a hurry. But yeah, we'll just see how things go. But at least we're getting a couple. This alfalfa will definitely get finished tonight, and the grass, we'll just see where that goes. The baler out of twine. Not this one, the 570. Apparently we never put twine in it. That doesn't help. My wife's baling now. She's starting on the grass. I'm heading out with the 2 wagons. I'm hoping, I hope there's way more out there, but based on what I'm seeing, I think this is enough to finish the field, and hoping I can, but I hope I'm wrong and there's a third load out there, but I'm hoping to get back here and start getting on some grass later on. But I don't know if I'll get to any grass tonight. At least I can get my wife baling on it and get a few loads out and keep them rolling on unloading grass. They just unloaded their last load of grass. I got a lot of alfalfa ready. But rather than set up and get ready for a new stack, they're going to get the site prepped for the alfalfa, but hopefully by the time they do, they don't have to move the elevator. They can just keep going in on some grass. And that's what I'm really hoping, because my dad's up there at the truck. He just started pulling the straw out towards that area. So we'll see. Well, baler didn't really work out quite how we wanted. I think it was starting to get worn in a little bit there. You know, it'd been sitting for over a year, 2 years almost, at least a year and a half. That was our primary baler, and it was working good when we parked it, but we didn't use it at all last year, and we didn't use it a ton the year before. No, we used it a lot the year before, but we didn't use it at all last year because we had this baler and it worked fine, and we, you know, with the drought and everything, we just didn't need 2 balers, and it never broke down, so we didn't have to pull that one out. I just haven't gotten around to selling it because it's always nice to have that spare, or maybe in big days like what should have been today, 2 balers, but just the timing of things didn't work out, and the time we spent trying to get that baler going, and the fact that it just kept breaking knots and it wasn't tying right. It started doing a lot better at the tail end of the load. I think she had only a couple misties. At the beginning, it was just one after another, and just, you know, rust builds up on them knotters, and it takes a little bit to wear that rust or whatever off and kind of get them shined up and working right. But she wasn't in the car today. She parked it, and yeah, you know, some things don't work how you want. It's I'm just kind of ready to be done with this portion of first cut because it's wearing on me a little bit, and it'd be nice just to be done and kind of move forward where we have some time to take things in a little bit and just focus on one task at a time rather than be spread so thin. But it's all a part of what we've kind of done to ourselves. I'm not blaming no one but me, but man, it's you know, a lot of things really did go well this last week or so, but enough things have kind of not to make it less than ideal or less fun, but we'll get there. That's the end of the field. I just finished baling the grass that was along here. I don't think I'm gonna have room for this bale in there. It's all just grass. How many bales do we end up with? 1249. Not great. Not great for 23 acres. Well, yeah, I guess they're in a stack. I don't know. I get it, but these bales were kind of spongier than I really wanted. They seemed tight when we baled them, but I think there's a really small stemmed grass in the mix. Oh, we can find it. Like that one's good and dry, not an issue. And you have to look for it, and that one's dry. I can't find it in this bale, but there's some bales that have this type of grass and the stem just didn't cure out quite well. So some of these are sweating a little bit, which is weird because we were seeing single digit moistures on them when we baled. And I'm talking 4, 5, 6%. We checked them today. Even the ones that were starting to sweat were still under 15%, some even 12%. Like we're still in the range where I'm comfortable. We're not gonna have fires. I hope we don't get too much of a mustiness out of it. I don't think it will, but some of that just caused some of the bales to kind of get a little loose on us and not hold their shape too well. I think that's what a lot of it is. You can see we got stacks that ain't holding really true. Is that the people stacking? Is that the bales? I noticed I did the bottom 2 layers. They were a little softer than I wanted, but it is what it is. They got the alfalfa started. I have no idea what's going on right there. Oh my gosh. I might have some fixing to do tomorrow. They parked the wagon here and it looks like they stacked around the wagon. That's convenient. So, all right, well, I'm gonna go find out if the light on the grease gun helps as much as I think it will, because I'm gonna need it to grease up the mower for tomorrow. Well, if you don't know, I'm a Milwaukee guy, so of course, get the dust off it. It's got a light on it. Look at that. It actually is pretty nice. So we got those uprights to do. We got some pivot points for the lift and lower, and then U-joints for the crimpers and the rear spindles and whatnot. So we'll get this done, and then we got to fuel this up. I don't know, it's got a huge freaking tank on it. I don't know, 60, 80 gallons, something like that. Takes a lot of diesel. And then we got to fuel the skid steer up tonight and water animals out in the woods, and then we can call it a day. Yeah, those stacks don't look half bad. Can't have everything perfect the first time you do it. Hopefully we'll eventually figure things out. Well, this is fun. We're doing watered animals right now, and the steering on this is all broken. Cool. So there's another thing to put on the fixing list. I hope this thing is okay to get this by for a couple weeks, just hauling water a half a mile. Jeez. Hogs are done. We got to move that Hampshire ASAP. She's bagging up like crazy, so we got to build that. But I got a whole day of mowing hay tomorrow, and hay to finish baling, hay to unload. So tomorrow I'll be busy. Maybe after I get done tedding Wednesday, there's a chance I could have time to move her and build her pen. We'll see. Well, another day, I'd say fairly successful. We got probably, I don't know. I forget what the count was. Over 1,249, I think, on the baler of hay. Yield was definitely not where I wanted. I wanted to be closer to 2,000 bales on that field. So that is what it is. And we got maybe like 80 small squares of grass baled up with that 570 before we parked it. So all in all, probably a little over 1,300 bales. I really would have liked to gotten 2,000, but we got a late start and didn't start till like 1, 2 o'clock. And I should have raked the alfalfa double instead of single. So just driving pretty fast, 5 mile an hour to bale. So that took a little bit longer to bale, but had I not messed around with the 570, had a few other things been different, started earlier, this or that, we probably could have gotten easily 1,500, 1,600 bales out today. Did hit some bottlenecks with wagons unloading at the end, and didn't get empties from a friend of ours until late in the evening. So it's just a lot of things kind of didn't come together quite timed out how I want. Hopefully I can find someone to help haul some clover end of the week, because I'm going to go mow that tomorrow. But thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.